HBO's The Last of Us has once again proven that the strongest video game adaptations don't just replicate, they elevate. While the show's first season closely mirrored the events of the original game, Season 2 charts a bolder course by reshaping key character dynamics and narrative pacing from The Last of Us Part 2. One of the most impactful shifts? How the show reimagines the relationship between Ellie and Dina. These changes don't just deepen the characters, they enhance the emotional foundation of the story in ways the game's format never could. A delayed romance with greater emotional payoff. In the original game, Ellie and Dina's romance takes off early. By the time Joel's devastating fate arrives, the two are already a couple, which frames Dina's later decisions through the lens of loyalty and love. The HBO series, however, takes its time. When the now iconic weed shop scene unfolds, the moment in the game where Dina and Ellie's intimacy begins, it's Jesse accompanying Ellie, not Dina. For some fans, this initially felt like a snub. But in hindsight, this subtle shift gave room for a slow-burn romance that feels more grounded in grief, survival, and emotional maturity. It allows Dina's character to stand on her own, separate from Ellie, and gives their eventual union a deeper emotional impact. Dina's ties to Joel add layers of motivation. Perhaps the most compelling deviation from the game is how Dina is integrated into Joel's story. In the game, Joel's final moments are shared with his brother Tommy. But in the series, it's Dina who shares critical scenes with Joel, training with him, trusting him, and ultimately being present when he meets his tragic fate. This shift gives Dina her own emotional stakes. She's not just along for the ride because of Ellie. She has her own reasons to feel pain, anger, and loss. Her decision to support Ellie's quest for revenge becomes personal, and her motivations more complex. It reframes her role from love interest to fully realized participant in the broader tragedy. Queerness, repression, and a tender reveal. One of the show's most emotionally resonant additions is its deeper exploration of Dina's sexuality. Unlike in the game, the HBO series introduces layers of repression and internal conflict to her identity. During a quiet conversation with Ellie, Dina initially identifies as heterosexual, a moment that puzzled many viewers. But it's later revealed that her hesitance stems from familial rejection and years of internalized denial. This addition to her backstory transforms Dina's journey into one of self-acceptance. When she finally kisses Ellie, after nearly losing her, the moment hits harder because it's not just about love. It's about release, vulnerability, and reclaiming truth. It's one of the most authentically queer arcs depicted in recent television, and it wouldn't have been possible in the faster, action-driven format of a video game. Television's strengths make the story shine. What works so well in The Last of Us Season 2 is its understanding that television and video games are fundamentally different storytelling tools. Where the game relies on player immersion and urgency, the series slows down to explore relationships in quieter, more intimate moments. That's what made Bill and Frank's standalone episodes so effective, and it's why the Ellie and Dina storyline hits with such depth. By leaning into its medium, the show doesn't just retell the story, it enhances it. It gives characters like Dina the space to breathe, grow, and carry emotional arcs that are often impossible within a game structure. Looking ahead, as the series continues, it's clear that HBO's The Last of Us isn't afraid to diverge from the source material when it means telling a better, more emotionally resonant story. Fans can now turn their attention to other characters whose arcs may be reshaped, like Tommy, whose path of vengeance may evolve differently than it did in the game. But if Season 2 has shown anything so far, it's that when change is handled with care and intention, it can make even the most familiar moments feel brand new and even more powerful than before.